It's Becca, and I'm drunk at Days of the Dead, Chicago. So this is Adam Krause. He is the director of Gags. And I was just telling him about how Paul Shunk posted the poster. I'm going to do this here. Like in maybe like October, November of last year. In the Micah Madness's end of the year stuff last year, we gave it an honorary award for the poster, the best poster of a movie that we did not get to see in the year we saw the poster. So I'm very irresponsible. I did not have the camera running. So now Adam is going to tell us about the wonderful artist who did this and how they came up with it.
So this was done by Sadist Art Designs. Mark is his name. He's a wonderful artist. I emailed him, we got to talking, we bonded over our love for Goosebumps book covers.
Can you see it, kids?
And we talked, and I asked for a cross between a vintage Goosebumps book cover and the original poster for the Charles B. Pierce 1976 film Town That Dreaded Sundown. It's one of my favorite horror posters of all time. If you remember that, it's Texarkana, and it's sunset, and the phantoms in the sky, and it's the Town That Dreaded Sundown. And I essentially created that. I replaced Texarkana with Green Bay, and I put Gags in the Sky.
Okay.
Yep.
You're gonna get in trouble. Kick him out. Kick Pippi Longstocking out of this con, everybody.
Follow the weeds at the high on the hog table.
Whee!
Everybody wins.
And then there's this guy who's like, I don't know him.
I don't know nothing.
I don't know nothing. But look at those braids. Oh, man.
They're clip-on.
No, they're not. Man, that is pretty fucking sexy, dude.
She's right.
Okay, so tell everybody who you are and what you were today.
What were you today?
I gave him the natural.
Annabelle. And what are you going to be tomorrow? Tiffany.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. What are you going to buy?
A brain
A
purse.
brain purse. That's right, because she's awesome. All right, you go buy that brain purse. Hey, we are walking around with Samuel Venisi, director of the upcoming film Violet.
Look at this. Why is there Pokemon, Scooby-Doo, and then House of a Thousand Corpses?
I love all of those things.
There's Tony.
There's Tony.
There he is.
There's Tony right there.
We're just walking around.
And Adam never came back. Oh wait, he has to be at his own screening, not Destiny. There's Dom. Yo, Dom, who is bloody disgusting. Hey, I know you. Corey's not even paying attention.
I'm zoning out, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I gave Ryan shit because he's a loser because he didn't come here today.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
River, you by yourself then?
Yeah, basically.
Look
I'm
at it. Okay, wait. Give him your best poopy face, Ryan. Here's. Oh, did you poopy face?
Look how I feel right now.
Look at this.
How you doing? Hello. That's awesome.
Oh, look, it's Michael Myers over here. Yo, where's your mask? Come on, show us, Michael. All right, Loomis, tell us. What do you know about this child?
The devil's eyes.
How do you feel about Loomis? Well, Loomis is holding my drink.
Yeah. I'm the supplier of sugar, so.
That's right.
I like how the knife was bigger than her head. The little girl, did you see that?
Well, the mask was way bigger than her head too, and that's awesome.
And it was cute.
I love seeing little kids who appreciate horror and their parents actually like foster it. I know you guys. And in fact, my sister's been carrying her con fan everywhere, and she broke it today, so she's gonna have to come get a new one. Yeah. This is here, guys. Southern Sunday.
So tomorrow's probably gonna be like way busier, where you can't walk probably.
Right. Yeah, we gotta.
Like right now, we're able to just cruise.
We gotta do this now.
Tomorrow is gonna be.
And I always want one of these guys.
Oh, I see those all the time.
Awesome. There's some scarebears.
see those all the time on Facebook. I think I did like an Alice Cooper one too.
I know these people, Plot 13. I gave you some props. So you made a Burkittsville sign for Jess Seaman. And we took it to Burkittsville, where, of course, in Burkittsville, they do not have the normal sign. Did he tag you in any of this?
He may have tagged my husband. I haven't seen him yet.
Okay, then he sucks because we had about 6 people trying to get that sign over the Burkittsville sign that's there now.
Did you get it to work?
Yes, we did, and then every person on the tour had to have their picture taken. So it was the most impressive part of the tour.
That is awesome.
Oh yeah, we got. And I will definitely go back and shop at Pretty. See her? Oh wait, no, this right here. Okay, so we got Daniel Flowers. That's not even why we're over here. No, we are over here for Leslie.
Oh, Rebecca, you haven't seen me yet? Love ya.
You have the best volunteer here, Danielle.
Sylvia Soska. And we're the Soska sisters, no relation. We're twisted twins, but we rebranded after 10 years.
I just read something interesting about you guys. You guys were born on your mother's birthday, is that true?
That is correct.
I did my homework.
She said it was the best birthday present ever, but not having experienced labor myself, I think she's lying. Yeah, she said my head was really big, but again, she's a very interesting perspective of that.
So Sylvia, are you taller? Are you the taller one?
I wear heels more often because I have small man syndrome. Technically, that does make her taller, though.
Who's technically older?
You want to guess? You did your research.
I would say you are.
Everyone does. Is that your final answer?
Now I should say, I'm second guessing myself. Now I'm going to stick with Jen.
Yeah, you're wrong.
I'm wrong,
I
okay.
was 19, and we were actually delivered by 2 different doctors. The twin specialist was delivering another set of twins when my mom went to labor with us. So they grabbed the only doctor available for me, and then the specialist delivered Jen.
So how much time in between?
19 minutes.
Okay.
Which is a long time when
It
you're
is,
like, where's
yeah.
the other one? It's basically the longest we've been apart. Yeah.
Son worked on with the American Guinea Pig films. I don't know if you've ever heard of these, but they're really fucked up.
Yeah, they are.
And I'm Jessie Seitz, and I have also worked on a variety of fucked up films, both as the director and effects artist.
Okay, this is Ryan. I met Ryan in March, I think, at Horrorhound in Cincinnati.
Yep.
And our bonding moment was he saw me buying a CD, and he was amazed that I had a player. And look at the full circle, everybody. I'm buying more CDs, and Ryan came up. Yeah. Very awesome, Ryan.
Very awesome.
We're going to be by tomorrow, but she's not going to be dressed out.
Okay, somebody try to get her to break character.
Oh, out of the way.
No, you.
What?
Try to get her to break character.
She won't do it.
What do you want her to do? Shoot his face?
I was like, Daddy might do it.
Show us your ice cream.
Evil though. Yeah. No? Not today? Okay.
That was pretty evil. Freaking me out, dude. Freaking me out. Good job.
Yeah, I kind of fell bass backwards into it too. I originally wanted to be a screenwriter, but I live in a tiny little town north of Houston, and I figured nobody makes movies in Texas except Tobe Hooper and Robert Rodriguez and stuff. But again, I was told like I'm in a flyover state, like nobody makes movies here. And come to find out, I found out about through the grapevine that a guy named Stacey Davidson was casting for this slasher film called Sweatshop, and I became friends with him. And he, like one day, like randomly on set, he was asking me like, you know, do you ever want to make your own movie? I'm like, well, I mean, I've never saw myself as a director, but yeah, I'd love it, right? And he said, look, if you can sit at a monitor and call action and cut, you could be a director. I'm like, really? So, like after that, I wrote this tiny little religious horror movie that will never see the light of day. And I was kind of off and running after that. And then with Pickaxe, I'd actually conceived the story for it before we ever worked on Sweatshop. But again, I thought, well, nobody will ever see this. It's just going to be a cheesy little slasher movie that You know, I'll make a bad movie almost intentionally for my first movie, but wanted to be my second movie, and it's still intentionally bad. But I wound up getting interest from Fangoria because I had this mock poster that a guy named Mark Schoenbach had done for me. And this was like when he was first getting started out. Like, you know Mark?
He did our poster.
Okay, right on. So yeah, Mark is awesome. Like, Mark, I love you. If it wasn't for him doing the original poster, which was very much a Slumber Party Massacre takeoff, it literally was a guy's legs, a pickaxe, and then two hot babes looking up at him. And they ran that in Fangoria as an ad and didn't tell anybody, didn't tell me. And suddenly I'm looking, I'm like, holy shit, there's the Pickaxe Murder. At the time it was called The Pickaxe Murders Part 3, The Final Chapter. It literally was supposed to be a sequel to a movie that never existed. After that, everybody started calling me and wanting to know more about this film. I'm like, yeah, we're about done with it. I had not even written a fucking script yet. So at that point, I'm like, all right, I might want to take this kind of seriously. Like, I'll pump out a script. And then Tiffany Shepis got interested because I was supposed to work with her on another film a couple years prior. And we just kind of shot the shit about it. She was like, look, I know all about these slasher movies. Like, I'm going to be the big bad actress. I'm like, yes, please, absolutely. I need Tiffany Shepis.
I feel like I wrote novels. That was who I was. I never even thought of being a filmmaker. I watched films. I'm like, how can you even do that? I didn't know what to do. So I'm like, all right, I'll just write some stories and then scripts, and then maybe get some friends. I've become friends with independent filmmakers. Can like make them. But then I worked on The Bad Man, which I mentioned, and that really opened my eyes. Scott Shermer is my favorite independent filmmaker. He's done Harvest Lake, Found, Blank Face, you know him. And just working on a set, I was able to learn everything: camera, sound, lighting. I was able to see how a movie is able to actually, how it turns out. And working with my favorite filmmaker, I was like, holy crap, I can do this. Like, that gave me the motivation to, right after, this was January 2018, so I haven't been doing this for very long, but right after that week of shooting, I just pulled out one of my stories, one of my short film scripts, and I'm like, hey, Dominic, my brother, hey, you want to star in it? I called some friends, got some favors, but we made a bad short film, I'll be honest. The short films in my mind were, all right, I'm going to learn how to make a film, because I'm going to be my own crew. I don't have a lot of money to pay all these people to help me. After the third one, I was still thinking about doing short films, but the third one I worked with Alice Winkler. Alice Winkler, she's a great independent artist, actress, and 2-3 days later, I'm like, all right, we're in pre-production for Violet, the first feature. But before that, I had like 3 other shorts. I was like, oh, let's just do these shorts first. So like, I was just so like, we can do this. And even my brother, we were like looking at each other, and he was like, holy fucking shit, she's good. So like, I messaged her like 2 days later. I'm like, hey, I know we just worked, but are you interested in this feature?